With the new Nike Roshe G Next Nature golf shoes, which were released with very little hype and fanfare, Nike might have quietly released one of the best pairs of casual golf shoes that you can buy in 2023. And that's a massive surprise to me, given how disappointed I was with the original Roshe golf shoes that Nike released in 2018. The launch Roshe trainers that these golf shoes are based on were pretty much the original casual sock shoe. They weren't particularly soft underfoot, but the fit and feel of the soft mesh upper just meant that they were extremely comfortable to wear and became very, very popular. So these golf shoe versions won't be for everyone, but I've worn them plenty on and off the course. So if you're looking for a pair of casual, comfortable and well-priced golf shoes that are going to look good both on and off the course, then I think you're going to want to check these out. Talking of looking good off the course, make sure you check out the sponsor of today's video, DoublePlateauGolfClub.com. They're the UK's exclusive distributor of No Laying Ups merchandise, which is where I got this t-shirt from. But for a limited time, use the exclusive code GolfGuyReviews to get 10% off their entire website. So what makes me say that these could be the best casual golf shoes that you can currently buy in 2023? Well, it's a combination of comfort, style, and price. At £89 here in the UK, they're actually £25 cheaper than the Jordan 1 lows. And in terms of the looks, well, the Roshes are pretty low key, but they're sporty enough that no one's going to realise that these are actually a pair of golf shoes if you're wearing them out and about in everyday life. You can see that you've got the hot melt swoosh on the outside as well as the inside of the shoe. And on the back, you have got a pull tab that says Nike Golf on the rear there. You've got a pretty standard file-on midsole, although it is pretty chunky at the heel, as you can see there. And look at the under the side of the shoe, you've got this kind of waffle pattern, which I'll come onto a little bit later. And you've also got the Nike Golf logo. Other than that, there's not too much more to say about the look of the shoe. It looks like a Roshe trainer, which is a pretty sporty, kind of athletic looking running shoe. The tongue on the shoe is actually just part of the upper. You can probably see there, as I'm pulling it, this upper section here just runs up and becomes the tongue as well. So you've got an additional kind of section on the outside of the shoe, which is a little bit more reinforced compared to the upper. So there's probably some cardboard in there or something, and that's giving you a little bit more stability across the outside and the inside of the middle of your foot. It's still pretty flexible. You can see where they've saved a bit of money as well on the eyelets for the laces. There's no plastic material, no reinforcement. It's just stitching on the eyelets instead. And the laces are pretty thin and flimsy too. For their low price point, they're far from being the best golf shoes for all conditions. That's not what these have been made for. The mesh upper is incredibly flexible, and it needs to be, given that this sits quite close to your foot. And so it does really have that sock-like feeling on the top of your foot and across your toes. And that mesh is great for breathability, but it also means that they're not waterproof in the slightest. I'm not even going to bother doing my waterproof test. Just believe me, if you wear these when it's wet, your feet are going to get pretty wet. So here in the UK, these are just really a summer shoe. And even then, it's probably still going to rain. Now this soft, flexible mesh upper also means that it's not necessarily the most stable golf shoe. If you put a lot of force into your shoes during your golf swing, then you're probably going to notice the feeling of your feet kind of pushing over the outside of the edges of the shoe. That mesh upper isn't really containing your foot particularly well. As I mentioned, you have got some reinforced material here along the middle of the foot, but again, it's not offering a huge amount of support in this shoe. Now, if you haven't got a particularly aggressive swing, or you're just looking for a pair of trainers that are really comfortable, that offer you some additional traction out on the course compared to a regular pair of running trainers, then these are going to be ideal. They're just not offering a great deal of support compared to more modern performance-based golf shoes. Now, if you're finding this video helpful, please press that like button so it knows that I'm on the right track with the information that I'm giving in these videos, and it tells YouTube to start sharing this video with other golfers, which in turn will allow me to justify to my wife why I need to buy more golf shoes to review. And if you are thinking about buying these golf shoes, then I've included the links to Nike.com down in the description below. Now, I mentioned at the beginning that the outsole of this shoe is a massive improvement compared to Nike's original versions of the Roshe Golf. Nike have done away with the domed spike approach on the outsole, which in my opinion made them the most unstable golf shoes I had ever worn, and instead seem to have taken heavy inspiration from the Air Max 90 golf shoes with this waffle kind of approach on the outsole. In fact, let me go grab a pair. I say heavy inspiration. Well, yeah, it's not identical, but when you compare them two side by side, you can see where they got the idea from, which is a good thing because it means that you're getting traction that you can use off the course. It's not too aggressive, but it's certainly a lot more aggressive compared to regular sneakers. Taking a closer look on the toe of the shoe here, you've kind of got these ridges, and then it turns into this mini waffle kind of pattern. So you've got all these little squares, and then it goes back to the ridge traction at the heel. So you can see there's plenty of mud on these shoes still. I need to give them a bit more of a clean, but you can also see, if you take a close look, you've got all these little specks on the outsole. And the reason being is that's because this outsole is made from Nike grind. And so that's recycled bits of outsole from other shoes that's ground up and then remade and repressed into this outsole. In fact, another sustainability feature of the Roshe G Next Nature is the box that it comes in. So normally when you get shoes delivered from Nike, you get the shoe box and you get another box on the outside. With the Next Natures, you actually just got one box. So the box that it arrived in was the shoebox. And so it naturally reduces the amount of materials that they're using to ship and store these trainers in. The shoes fit true to size and the upper does sit close to your foot. It is designed to give you that very close sock-like feeling with the Roshe shoes. So if you've got particularly wide feet, you might want to consider going up half a size with these shoes. I had plenty of room in the toes, but even for my narrow foot, it feels relatively narrowish fit. There's not a particularly huge amount of padding on the tongue, that's pretty lightweight. And again, around the ankles, there's not a massive amount of padding there, but they were still plenty comfortable for me. Walking 18 holes straight out the box, you don't have to break them in. I didn't get any blisters with these shoes. They're nice and lightweight, and although they're not a particularly soft feeling midsole, they're still comfortable enough, certainly to walk 18 holes. The only concern that I've got with these shoes is how durable they're actually going to be. Given that this mesh upper is pretty flexible and there's no protection elements to it, it's just the exposed mesh. If you use these shoes a lot out in the harsh conditions on the golf course, well, they're pretty lightweight and I can see them getting chewed up and beaten up pretty quickly. So it really depends upon how much you're looking to use these shoes and what you're looking to use them for. At £89, if you're using these week in, week out, I wouldn't expect these to last probably much more than a year or two. But if you're more of a casual golfer that wants a pair of shoes that you can use off the course and then still have a pair of golf shoes that you can use when you do occasionally play golf, then these could be perfect. If you're looking for a pair of comfortable golf shoes this summer without breaking the bank, and you want to make sure that you look good both on and off the golf course, then I think these are definitely worth a look. Talking of looking good on and off the course, you should definitely check out the sponsor of today's video, DoublePlateauGolfClub.com. Not only are they the exclusive UK distributor of no laying up merchandise here in the UK, but they also stock the merchandise of other great US brands, including the Golfer's Journal, Shotgun Start, Friday Golf and Sunday Golf. And they've recently worked with Sugarloaf Social Club and Flyers Club to bring exclusive drops here to the UK. The joy of using Double Plateau is that they remove the import and shipping costs from your favourite US brands. They offer free shipping on all orders over £25, and for a limited time you can use the exclusive code GolfGuyReviews to get 10% off all orders on their website. If you're not sure whether the Nike Roshe are the right casual golf shoes for you, then you might want to check out my full review of the Air Jordan 1 Low golf shoes, which I've included a link to right here. And don't forget to hit that like button and press subscribe.